Well, good morning and welcome to our thought for the week. I'm sure most of you are like me and are intrigued by just how many new words have entered our vocabulary over the last year or so. Words that we had never heard of before, like social distancing and lockdown. Even, of course, the name COVID-19 itself we hadn't heard of about a year and a half ago. And then, of course, there are words that we thought we knew, but that have taken on a brand new meaning. Bubbles are no longer something fun to blow and play with outside. They now are a group of people that have to be protected and kept intact. Even, of course, normal is no longer normal. It has become the new normal. We have to accept that things are different, even though we do still call it normal. But the word that I want us to think about this morning is the word essential. Now, this word has been debated greatly over the last number of weeks and months, as things have been in lockdown and out of lockdown, and then trying to get everything out of lockdown again, and things that we need to know what is classed as essential. And of course we have our essential workers who very much deserve the title essential. We have people who have given so much of themselves and their time over the last year and a half or so to just help us through this pandemic. And they very much deserve to be called essential. We could not have done this without them. But then things were debated over what else was essential, what businesses could stay open, what businesses couldn't stay open. And for people who own their own businesses, this was a very difficult task indeed. Did they fit into the category or not? And for some businesses, they found it very difficult that they weren't allowed to open at particular times. And even all of us, of course, had an opinion as to what was essential and what wasn't. Many people thought that hairdressers were becoming pretty essential, as we were waiting for them to reopen. And now, of course, they have reopened. Everybody's glad again that service has resumed. But over this time, when we have been through lockdown, facing social distancing, trying to deal with a new normal, what has been essential for us? Well, I certainly know, and I know that through talking to many other people, they have found that their faith has been essential. That it has been at times something that just has really kept them going when things have been really particularly tough. And it is great that we have that to hold on to. And it can become an absolute essential for us. But what is it essential for us as Christians to have? What is essential for us to know? What is essential for us to think about? Those are bigger questions that perhaps as we come out of lockdown and we're going back into our new normal, those are questions we can think about. What is essential for us as Christians to have? Of course, we can turn to the Bible. We can say that it is an essential. Having a prayer life, that's essential. Connecting with other Christians, that's essential, and yet has had to happen quite differently over the last while. And how are we going to reconnect, or how are we going to change how those connections happen with our Christian community over the next while? And what is essential for us to know about God? In church, we would frequently recite the Apostles' Creed. I believe in God the Father Almighty. And it goes on, of course, to list other essential points for us as Christians. And some of you, I'm sure, remember learning when you were children the Catechism, which of course said that it went through the essentials of Christianity. And of course, there's that key question: what is man's chief aim? Man's chief aim is to glorify God and to enjoy him forever. And of course, now we use the extension of man to mean both man and woman, of course, don't we? And as C.S. Lewis pointed out, whenever we think of that essential, that we shouldn't think of them as two separate identities, to glorify God and to enjoy him forever. C.S. Lewis tells us that if we fully enjoy something, if we fully enjoy God, we should therefore naturally be glorifying him. And so the two go hand in hand, he teaches us. And this surely is what is truly essential for us as Christians, to glorify God and to enjoy him forever. What is it that God essentially wants with us? He wants us to have a relationship with Him. That is our essential. That is what we need to have in our lives as a Christian. We need to have that personal, individual relationship with Him. And we, of course, will never know all that we need to about God because we can't. We are only human. We cannot understand all of God's greatness and His awesomeness. But God knows us, and God loves us, and He cares for us. And so we can make that connection with Him who knows us, and we can do our best to learn more and more, as much as we can, about Him. But what He wants from us is that relationship with us, and that is our essential. So as we head out now into this new normal ground that we maybe don't know much about, will we still hang on to that essential, that personal relationship with God our Father, who loves us and cares for us and wants what is best for us? Will we continue to go through our lives relying on that essential relationship with Him? Thank you for listening this morning, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.